I was looking at my favorite app to find free items being given away when I came across the ad for this mower. I know it doesn't look like much, but with a little bit of work, it should make for a great mower for those on a tight budget. The problem is, depending upon how it was taken care of, this will either be an easy $100, but something tells me it's not going to be as easy as I would hope, and once you get a closer look at it, things don't look very promising. In today's video, we're going to be looking at this Yard Machine's lawnmower, and the problem is I just picked it up from the curb and I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. If you're not aware of it, this mower is about as basic as you can get, but just because it looks cheap doesn't mean that it is. A new one just like this one would set you back just shy of $300, which is just insane. It was only a couple of years ago, a mower like this one would have only set you back $100 brand new. Now, I may have already fixed this mower in a different video, so if you want to see that video, there should be a link to it at the top of the screen or at the end of the video. But before I fixed it, I had to give it a quick cleaning, that way I wouldn't get dirt in places like inside the carb, the fuel tank, or even inside the engine. Now, while I clean this mower, I'm going to talk about some of the problems I find with them that makes fixing them a bit more challenging. Now, there seems to be one big problem that I want to focus on more than anything else, but just be aware that there could be a lot more issues with it later on when we try to get it running again. Now, if I recall, the ad for this mower didn't make any claims about it, but from all the other stuff that was on the curb with it, it certainly seemed like they were clearing out old and unwanted stuff. Now, the fuel tank was empty, however, that could also be a result of the gasoline evaporating away. According to the owner's manual, it recommends that the fuel system be empty during storage to help ensure that the engine will start the next time. That means there's a slim chance that the fuel system is in working condition, but I wouldn't bet on it though. Fortunately, the engine oil looks to be in great condition and it's even full, which means someone must have been actively taking care of it, so why did they get rid of it? So the good news is that the engine started and it sounds great, no strange noises or wild shaking. Now the bad news is that we've got our work cut out for this one. As you can see, the underside of the mowing deck is covered in grass and dirt, and in some places it's really thick. If you're not aware of it, this is not the condition you want your lawnmower to be in. If you never clean the grass from the underside of your lawnmower, over time it will develop rust under all that grass and dirt. And eventually your mowing deck will fail due to being weakened from years of not being cleaned. So how often should I clean my mower then? Well, that's up to you, but if I had to give it a number, I'd say at least once a year. And I would recommend you cleaning it either when you sharpen or replace your blade, and while you're at it, you might as well change your oil all at the same time. Now this is a minimum schedule, but if you look at your owner's manual, I think you'll see that it recommends cleaning it more often than that. So how long would a mowing deck last without any sort of cleaning? Well, that's a tough question to answer. Now this particular mower is about 4 years old, and I'm just guessing that it's never been cleaned before. That means after 4 seasons of what looks like mowing mostly wet grass and bare dirt spots, this mowing deck is still in great condition. Now there are 0 holes in it and no cracks as well, which means it's safe to say that if you wanted to, you could get away without cleaning it for quite a while. So if this mowing deck was never cleaned and it lasted all those years, just imagine what would happen if you cleaned it even a couple of times. There's a very good chance that the mowing deck could last decades, if not more, if you go beyond the typical cleaning like the one I'm doing. So what do I mean by a typical cleaning then? Well, there are some consumers out there that will do a full cleaning and then it goes so far as to paint the mowing deck. The paint will help to keep any more rust from forming and spreading any further as well. And then some will go even further and coat the deck with something to keep grass from collecting on it. Doing it that way will make maintaining the deck a lot easier, which I hate to admit sounds like a great idea. There's just one problem. This is really about effort and motivation and the lack of it, and to be honest, some consumers have a lot of motivation as compared to others, including me. Now, I'll go so far as to clean the grass and dirt from the mowing deck, but going beyond that really doesn't interest me one bit. I know that sounds a bit hypocritical of me considering that I'm the one making a video about cleaning your mowing deck, but then again, it's all about effort. So here comes the big question. How long do you want your mower to last? 5, 10, 15, what about 20 years? Now for some consumers, they're simply not in it for the long haul. They want to buy a new mower every couple of years. They don't want to use a mower that they were using when they were 20 as a 40-year-old. Don't believe me? All the proof you need is in the mower market. More and more mowers are being made out of plastic and thin metal, only so that they'll last a couple of years, and that's it. That makes the mowers cheaper to produce and hopefully make the margins a lot bigger as well. Now, after a couple of years, they want you to buy something new, and most consumers are happy with this arrangement. Everyone gets what they want and no one really complains about it, and if they do, there's really nothing you can do about it except change brands to one that hopefully isn't owned by the same corporation as the last one. Now, if you don't like being treated this way, the only way I've dealt with the situation is to try and follow the owner's manual. That's right, there's a book out there about the very mower you own that tells you all the tips, tricks, and cheat codes to make it last. All you have to do is find it, download it, read it, and try to do as much as you're comfortable doing. So here's the best part, you don't have to do all the things in the manual to make it last forever. All you need to do is change the oil, keep it clean, run the gas out of it at the end of the season, or if you're not sure that you'll use it in the next 3 months. Now, following these basic rules will make most mowers start and run at the beginning of each season for multiple years. These are the rules I like to follow, and it's worked out well for me for a really long time. Yes, I do go a bit further as well, but the steps after the basic ones just make using the mower a whole lot easier. But what if you can't do even the basics then? Well, just be ready to either have it fixed or replaced every couple of years then. Now, you might get lucky and it lasts you more than a couple years, which is great news for the rest of us. However, my luck isn't that good. So what about this mower then? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it was at the end of its no maintenance cycle and they simply wanted to get rid of it in preparation to get a new one. Also, it is that time of year and it makes sense to get a new lawnmower when you need it, which is at the beginning of the season. However, if you want a really good deal, I'd recommend buying one at the end of the season instead. Most vendors are wanting to get rid of their old stock and don't want to keep old stock in the warehouse only to be charged for it. So if there's any stock left over at the end of August or September, most will discount them just so they don't have to deal with them. The funny thing is, the same goes for used sellers as well. Even I will discount my prices by at least 25% just to clear out stuff. The other good time to buy used is at the beginning of the mowing season when the grass isn't green yet. Mowers that would normally be selling for $250 in May will be less than half of that price right now. I don't know if new mowers follow the same scenario, but you might get lucky, so it's worth looking into. Nothing wrong with buying a new mower, but I like the idea of getting a used mower and keeping it for as long as I can. So for me, a mower should last at least 10 years, if not more. That means if I buy a new mower and it doesn't last 10 years, I'm going to be very disappointed. Of course, I'm going to be doing what I need to do to make sure that it's got the best chances of lasting that long. And if you want the same thing for your mower, I definitely do the basics to help ensure it. Now, as for this one, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an easy fix and an easy sale, just so long as I don't price it too high. But then again, I'm also going to price it for the amount of time and resources I've got into it as well. Now, if for some reason that amount is too high, I might have to consider either losing money on the deal or just using it as my personal mower instead. And even though I don't really like the idea of doing that, at least I won't have to worry about adding wear and tear on my other good mower. I know there are other reasonable choices for me to consider as well, but unfortunately those are the only two I'm considering at the moment. Now, unfortunately, this is where we have to leave this project until I get more time to fix it, which should be pretty soon, but at least we won't have to worry about getting any dirt where it shouldn't be. So my question is, how often do you clean your mower? And I mean a good cleaning too. It's not needed, but as you just saw, it could get out of hand pretty quickly. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions about this project or about your own projects, and I hope to see you in the next video.